let's talk about uncertainty in the meeting. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's nice. It's
Uncertainty.
yeah,
I can tell you the story of moving to Myrtle Beach and uncertainty and what it is. I mean, that's a big thing.
yeah,
You know?
because I think like what you're talking about earlier, the world right now, let's face it or not, there's a lot of there's a lot of this energy of uncertainty. it's
Oh,
it's really a time of, I don't know. That's me personally speaking. There, good.
yeah. I think I'm okay. We got it going.
There.
Let's do this. I'll introduce my I'll introduce myself and I'll play a flute song. How's that
Yeah,
sound?
yeah, that's good. Yeah,
And then we'll talk about uncertainty. How's that sound?
yeah, sure. That's nice.
Okay, cool. Let's do that. All right. So I'm Mike Smith, um, and I am a musician, and I've written a couple of books on finding peace and presence. One of them is called "Selling Nails on the Beach." It's poems, and it was written after experiencing non-duality probably about 10 years ago. And another one's called "Opening Home," and it's a workbook I use out in probably different yoga centers and places like that. And I take people through step-by-step process of how to open up and see what non-duality is, and then how to live it, how to actually apply it and live it to your life on a regular basis. And that book is called Opening Home. And that was really just a writing of um, my journey of returning to home, of who I was. Um, and in all of this, I then, as a musician, was very challenged with trying to find tones and music and vibrations that express this beautiful, boundless place that we are, our truth. And so what I did was I came across this, which is the Native American flute. It's quite beautiful. And then I have some singing bowls here too, which have beautiful sounds too. And these have this. So a combination of those.
There. It's all good now.
Okay. Okay. Put another quarter into it. It'll keep going. So let me play a song for you. And while I play this song, I would just ask you to um, notice, where do you hear the flute? From where do you sense the sound of the flute in the bowls? Does it have a specific location, or is it coming from or through? Is it going through you? Just notice that. So I'll play this for a little bit. And while I'm playing this, I want you to picture yourself sitting. Let's say you're sitting on a beautiful rock and you're overlooking this field. And there's a field there, and there's an old oak tree. And the old oak tree catches the wind, and the wind comes through the tree, and it sings like this. The holes in the oak tree from the woodpeckers have created this sound. And the sound is really the notes of the open wind. And you, at the same time, we have holes too. It's no different, no different. A vibration expressing, and the tree is a vibration taking in, all moving and expressing. So picture yourself as that, in that place, and you're letting go, and letting go. And as you let go, you feel yourself just return.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, let me say something. The most beautiful conversation with perfect words can never touch that, right?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
We could talk till the cows come home, and I could give you the best pointers. It would never touch.
Like
Yeah.
it's equal, I don't know. It's equally beautiful. Conversations are nice, but that sound is pure. I think because words has been infused with different definitions and different meanings, right?
Yeah.
But sound
So
is
maybe
universal.
maybe the words are maybe the point of words would be to prepare the mind as we're walking to the path to sit and hear this. You're walking down a path to the woods to get to this, and the words are just, all right, let's, you know, we let go, we let go, we let go. Um, yeah. Or our words are perhaps our tools for expressions of love. You hear that song, and you're sitting next to someone, and if you could say one word to them afterwards, you probably would just say to them, love this, or love, that would be it. Anything else would ruin it, you know?
Yeah. I don't know what to say. It's really, it's perfect as it is. It's like what they say, ineffable. It's just, I don't know. No words can really just like, but I just like, I'll just share what happened with my ayahuasca journey. The shaman was asking me if I want the third sip, because they like, they want you get like one and then second and third and fourth. And then when I took the first one and the second one, where you can see and hear stuff that you can never put to words, and it's all perfect. And I say, what else can top that message? I didn't take the third sip. I just sit with presence. I just sit feeling connected with nature, and that's the message itself. That it's
Yeah,
it. So
yeah,
what else do I want out of that one?
yeah. Yeah. You just sit with what's there and realize, yeah, that's all that's needed. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, maybe when we get lost with what's like what we're talking about earlier, sometimes we get lost with words too. Like, what can you say about that? Like, I don't know, sometimes we're so focused on getting to going to the next right moment, the next right teacher, and every human being gets into that space a lot of times, no, with no exception. I think.
Well, I guess, are you are we going to the next teacher to try to find a deepening of this, or are we going to the next teacher to experience an expression of this? There's a difference there. I had um I had about 150 books on all kinds of things, non-duality, Reiki, angelic guides, all these things, just hundreds of them. And then once I experienced this opening of presence, I took all the books and I threw them away. I'm like, I don't need anything else. I am good. Well, I'm sorry I did that, because now I'd want to go back into those books, open them up and read them and go, here is this presence again, now expressing as all these different things. So I found myself the other day in a bookstore, and for $4, I bought an old version of the Celestine Prophecy. Now, the reason I bought the book was for a couple of reasons. One, it smelled really good because it was an old book. And I wanted that experience of just having an old book on my lap, kind of going through and reading it. And then I also remember that book had some mystical, fun things in it. And I thought, let me now approach these beautiful mystical places from my experience in centering, and let me go and just allow that to be. And now I'm reading through the book, and I haven't gotten very far, but some pieces I'm reading are going, these are really mystical experiences appearing and pointing back to non-duality, which is pointing back into itself. See how that does that? It just keeps doing this thing. And like, wow, that's really cool. Years ago, when I read that book a long time ago, it was just, okay, I'm trying to find an answer. And now I'm like, oh, there it is. So I'm open to exploring all kinds of different things like that now. Um, the other book I read recently was Alice in Wonderland. And the reason I read that was because I feel like right now the entire world, society, all of us we have fallen into the rabbit hole and are spinning. And what do you think today is going to bring? You have no idea. You might meet the Mad Hatter, you might meet the Cheshire Cats. You don't know. And this uncertainty is where I've been living for the past 10, 11 months, of just like, wow, what is going to happen next? I don't know. Do I, can I go out in public and meet with people? Can I not? What are we told to do? What's true? What's not true? Um, and then what is my life now? So personally, for me, back in March, I had an amazing career going, and this is really fantastic. My book was open, and in my March calendar, I said, I have everything set up in life the way I want to right now. So there I was at the train station, and I saw the train coming. It hits, and like, there it is. This calendar had in it 50 gigs at senior homes. It had Native American flute drum journeys with parks for kids. It had, I think, a talk with the college kids about non-duality. And also in there was some individual coaching I was doing, and um, a soul healing sound journey with bowls and flutes. I mean, this calendar going, this is perfect. And then what happened March 12th? Boom, everything canceled. Everything canceled. And then I found myself going, what's happening? And then next thing I knew, my landlord came to me and she said, you need to move out because I'm having a baby, and you have to move out and find a new place to live. And then I had friends say, hey, come down to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, and live on the beach, and it's real cheap down here now. And da 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 da. I had savings, and I grabbed my girlfriend, and we came down here and just said, let's see what happens. And just like Alice in Wonderland, what's next? What's next? What's next? And just started following it. Now, the whole time, the only thing that gave me the strength on this was seeing a presence. Seeing a presence. Anytime that I felt thin, like thin, I would stop and go and sit on the beach, and I would feel love. I would feel love, and that would thicken this idea of who I was. So we talked about this earlier, so I'm going to repeat it. Love is one of the most important pieces to this journey. We can intellectually understand non-duality and presence and everything easily, but the next step is to infuse love into it. So I would sit on the beach and I would feel love going out. I would pick up the sand and the grains would fall between my fingers. And as they would, they were a whole beach in my hands, but then they would disappear to individual grains, and then they would go back down and become the beach again. You see that? So it would thin itself out and then return itself to love. And I would feel this love go all the way out, put my hands in the sand and feel it go all the way out, the energy going out to the beach, to the waves, to the ocean, to the sky, all of it. And then I would bring it back in and feel the energy coming back in like a note, and would come back in like this and form through me and then go back out into all of it again. So it was this thing happening again and again and again. Just a return. That's the Alice in Wonderland book. You're just like, what is this? You know? And then now the thing that's beautiful is as you're turning the pages of that book, you're going, wow, this is crazy. Look at all this stuff. What's on each page? Ink. Nothing. just ink. And you go, well, it's really just a book. Okay. Yeah, it's just a book. So as this movie that we are watching in life does all of this crazy stuff right now, the uncertainty, because we had certainty before. Here was Mike's book, and Mike was doing all this stuff. And now, boom, it's gone. What's the uncertainty? Well, what do I do? Who am I? Right? As we go through this uncertainty, the one thing we can be certain of is our beach moment, the love, the notes of the song. That's what's there at all times. And we are now cornered into and forced to really find that, to really return to it. We have no choice, because as all this stuff, as everything breaks, what's been there the entire time? You know, if we do a meditation, I tell you, let go of your worries of yesterday, you'll do that. Now let go of your worries of tomorrow. Okay. Now let go of your idea of you as Leonard. And now let go of any thoughts and worries about Leonard. Let go of your name, your story, your character. Let go of any last minute thoughts. Let go again, and you let go one more time. What comes up to appear to you as you let go? What is it that's just going to appear? What's going to come up? And presence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now you have the presence. Now let's bring the heart into it. Bring love into it. And love is what will make you. Finding presence is resting. There it is. Presence. Feel it. The next phase, if there is a phase, and I believe there are, because it naturally happens, is okay, I love. And even the word I is not a separate. It is not separate. Nothing is separate. If you take the word I and it's a note, I, what is I? It just is everything. I am love. I am love. And now all of a sudden, you go from resting, here's resting in presence, and then love. Love is, I want to, something that wants to express and bring this out and and take it out. Love is where that's what makes you pick up your guitar or your flute or pull out your favorite cookbook and just go, here, I made you a cake. I did it out of love, from love, to love. That's where the artist expresses. So we are returning to art and music and forms of expressions of love from our deepest self ever. That is what's happening right now. And it's going to be fantastic. It already is in many ways if you're aware and see it. I went the other day to a grocery store, and there was a girl who was checking out the groceries, and she had something about her. I knew she was an artist. I don't know why. Just my intuitive sense. I said to her, I said, this this job is good, but I said, this is not your true passion, is it? She went, no. She says, I'm an artist. And she pulled her phone out and went choo, 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 and flipped through about 10 different pictures. And I went, whoa. And she goes, yeah. She goes, well, you know what happened after the plague? I said, what? She goes, back in the old days, she goes, the Renaissance. And I said, yeah, That's what we're in right now. We're about to see the Renaissance. So we have all these forms of life changing, forms of life changing. Presence never changes. It never has, no matter what takes place, no matter what happens. Presence is always there. So all these different forms are going to change. The same way the sky is there, and you have night time, stars, you have clouds, you have rain, you have thunderstorms come through and tear at the sky, but the sky is never touched, just as you're never touched. So we are that expression. Yeah.
I really love that you put a different flavor on it, and then add, the base form is formless presence that never changes. But these are the changes things, like you said, like what's happening in society right now, the things that happened to us in the past 10 months globally, like the lockdown. It's we can like non-dualize it. We can like, but in reality it's happening. It's happening, and nothing's happening also, but it's happening right in front of our eyes. And
It is. It is happening. Yeah. Well, the thing that's interesting is I found myself. Um, I found myself one day being challenged, because with what's happening now in the world, it seems to be this whole, um, so many. There are so many things to find with other people. Like, it's like high school again, all the different cliques. Okay, do you wear a mask or not wear a mask? Do you believe in shots or not shots?
for
Do
this
you like
politician.
do you like this political person or not like this political person? There's like 10 different, just before we say hi, we've got 10 different ways of hating someone, right? So we have to look at that. We have to really look at that and say, what's happening? Has the mind just gone off and just said, we're really going to just separate as much as we possibly can in order to in order to know itself? Is it like a light bulb that just gets very, 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 very bright and then just pop? It has to just crash. Is that what's happening? Um, and are there ways of, how do we find peace in this? How do we find peace in ourselves on this? And I think the key to finding peace in ourselves in this is we we look at ourselves. We're really forced to look at ourselves. So, for instance, my choice, and I honor that, and that's just my choice, and I also honor everyone else's choice, is I don't wear a mask when I go out. I just don't. I personally believe that energy is healing, and I don't know. I've I don't even take medicine or vitamins or anything, so I'm a whole different person. But so for me, that's my choice. I found myself in a store the other day, and I didn't have my mask, and I was going through the store whistling, and everyone else was running from me as if I had, the plague. And I found myself coming home getting really upset. Like, why are they, let me do what I need to do. And I felt myself feeling like there was fear. Like I had this fear going in to the store, and they are making me have fear. And then I sat there and thought, wait a second. They're feeling the same fear I am. They have a fear of, I have an older person in my home, and so I'm going to wear this because this might work. Who knows? I have no idea. Let's put this on, and here's some dude coming at me whistling. My God. So you have to look at that and say, they're still the same place of presence you are, and colored just in a slightly different way. The lens is just coming out in a slightly different way, and they have the same fear I do. They fear me, I fear them. So we have to take a look at that, and we have to um, realize that this is okay. This is our biggest challenge is we realize this is okay. Wholeness is still this. It's still the fear. It's still the idea of what we think is right and wrong. It's still the idea of standing over here and watching other people stand over there. It's still this separation idea, because even in separation, there's what is there. Let's separate. Let's separate. They are still connected. So, for instance, watch this. I play this bowl. Okay, I'll play this bowl first, then I'll play a second one. The first one will join the second one, even though it's a separate note. It'll still meet together. The vibrations will still meet as one, appearing as two. We've seen, so we have this. Hang on, let me hit it harder. So you hear that. So they're ringing together, even though they are ringing separate. We've learned this in when we do body work and energy. You'll have your hand here, and you'll have your hand here, and you'll touch. You'll say, okay, now here's one hand, here's the other hand. Now what's in between? Okay, you can still feel the hands. Okay, or you can take one hand and lay it on top of the other hand. And then eventually what happens is you don't have two hands, you just have one presence appearing. That's what it is. So the uncertainty and the visual difference is coming out stronger and stronger and stronger as we are in this uncertain place. As this expands itself, I think energy is naturally going to just crash and return to itself. And the movie will end, and we will be standing there with the popcorn box, which has been there the entire time. The entire time. So we have never been touched. We think we've been touched, but we've never been touched. We may have lost friends on Facebook. We may have not seeing family for a while. In the end, everyone will stop and say, it's always been here. It's always been here. In the appearance of death, you find out that nothing was ever really lost. There was never any love lost, ever. When I was younger, I had a cat that I didn't like, and this is horrible, but I kept thinking, gosh, can't wait for this cat to die. Well, guess what happened? One day the cat got sick and I had to drive it up to the vet and get it put to sleep. I was so sad. And then I came home and there was an energy of this cat. I could feel it and sense this cat all around me now, but in a very loving way. I'm like, wow. So what was ever touched in that was nothing. There was love of the cat, was sort of there in the beginning, and then it appeared to not be there, and then it was there also at the end, and always appears. It's a fascinating place.
No, I really, everything you said, just I'm getting a lot of I'm getting a lot of insights from it. Like I now I realize why we didn't record the one earlier. When you mentioned it the second time, what's coming to me is like effortless infusion. Like the love that you're searching for is you, and no matter what preferences you have, whether you love this president or this president, in the end it doesn't matter because you're just gonna hold the popcorn, watching the entire movie with. Because sometimes I think I don't know, there's this big divide in, like what you said, you don't agree with mask, you don't agree with, you agree, or you don't agree with the vaccine, or you agree, or you like this political person or this president, or you don't like this, and it's been a big deal sometimes, and I know, and it's part of it. I think it's part of it. It's playing the way it's supposed to, I guess. I don't know, how do you?
Yeah, it is. It's well, if you really think about it, one person may like a certain political party because they want this political party to do all of these things so that we can get these things done. Now I can return to love, right? And another person will like a different political party because, yeah, well, these things have to be done so that I can return to love. You know, which one are you? You know, one guy wants to go out and bake cakes, the other one guy wants to go out and chop up wood. Um, and you want to get them both done so that you can have a fire and your cake, right? At the same time, what or you want to get it done so that you can relax and go, okay, now I can rest into what is here. So perhaps these insane stories are showing us that I can't watch this anymore. What can I watch? What is not moving in this room? This popcorn box isn't moving. That screen is not moving. I can look around at my friends, they're not moving. And this space of me is not moving. And we can look at that and go, yeah. And then once you find that space of me, this this endless I space, once that's found, then you can go and paint it out in so many different ways. And you can paint it out and surely say, there is a me, and me is this divine emptiness of presence also. And you can live in that way as an expression of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's and that's I think that's not that there's any I can't say that there's a divine plan and that things are going to change and suddenly we're all going to be walking around going, I am, I am, I am. I don't think you're going to have that. I think you'll have just a deeper knowingness. People will have a deeper knowingness. If they haven't already, they haven't already sensed that. You'll have a deeper knowingness. And life will open and expand and open, expand constantly. So what most may be seeking right now is really just how do I get out of the torture of what I'm watching on television or hearing in the news? How do I get away from that? Let's go sit by a tree. There's your answer. You know, you probably never thought of that. Um and to many that's something that many people may not be ready for. I mean, I remember when I was younger just wanting to take walks. Like I wanted to just take up walking. And I wanted to walk around the neighborhood. And I thought, no one walks around the neighborhood by themselves. I'll look stupid. It's, something. No, once you get into that, you will realize you're not stupid. You're just walking. And really, guess what? No one really cares.
Yes.
They don't. They don't care. Open up to your own truth and beauty as fully. Go in full on. What is this? Who am I? Go do this. No one cares. My daughter is when she was younger, about 16, I gave her a guitar and I said, here's a D chord, here's a G chord. Learn how to play. So, okay, so she takes the guitar. The first thing she does is paint the whole thing. All these paints, it's beautiful. And then she says to me about 4 months later, I want to go play an open mic night. And I said, good. So we go up and we're sitting there at this little cafe. It's a little coffee shop, green walls and paintings. And it's a really beautiful place. And there's probably about 10 people in there. And one guy's strumming and playing some old Allman Brothers song. About 9 other people watching him. And she's sitting there in front of me with a guitar. And she says, I'm really nervous. I said, why? She goes, I'm just not sure if I can play this or not. I'm going, I have no idea. I don't know. I haven't heard you play. I gave you the guitar 4 months ago. I know you can play a D chord, so go up and play your D chord. She goes, I'm just really nervous. I said, okay. I said, I'm going to give you the secret to getting rid of nerves. You want to hear it? She's like, yeah. I said, all right, here's the secret. When you go up and you play, yeah, I said, no one is going to care. No one's going to even listen. I said, for about 3 seconds, they're going to look up. because you're interrupting their conversation. And then they're going to get back to what they're doing, and you're just going to become wall noise. So I said, unless you go up there and you jam and hit the wrong chord and you say, fuck, then they're going to notice you. So just don't do those things. I said, and she went, you serious? I went, yeah. She goes, okay. She took a breath and she went up there and she kicked it out of the park. Just played these songs and just totally got into it on her own. The step into finding our true self is to step, you're leaving the movie theater. You got to stand up, and you got to be the guy who walks across 20 aisles and, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, knocking popcorn all over the place. And you got to walk out and you got to go, you know what? I'll just let all this go. And then when you let it go, you trust and you get into the place of not knowing. You get into that beautiful place of not knowing what is there, what is next. And that place of not knowing is where stillness comes in, silence comes in, truth comes in. The me story just fades away, or it clears itself out, one or the other. And then when that takes place, then you become, okay, life has been here the entire time supporting me. You look at it and you go, everything that has ever happened to me from this point on, and it always goes this way to the left of you, whatever's happened to me, was life there, was presence there, was it there? And you go, oh my gosh, it was. It was appearing as everything. And had always been there the entire time. I was never alone. And then you sit in this and you go, this is beautiful. And then now have a relationship with it. Now start to have a relationship. What is this? Who are you? Who am I? What is this? What is this? Have a relationship with it. Sit with it for a while, but not too long, just enough to know it. Then open up your door and go back into the theater and walk down. And now everybody that you interrupt, you look at each one of them and go, there I am. I'm there as this. I'm there as this. I'm there. And then you sit and now you watch the movie again. And when you watch the movie this time, you'll see that it's just a big screen and things are moving on it. That's it. There's nothing's ever touching it. And you'll also see that the movie's taking place and I'm never being touched, because every time the movie gets scary, you step down, you take popcorn, you put it in your mouth. Okay, yeah, there's just this here. And then this is also that. And then when you leave the theater, you walk out and you say, I was never touched. Nothing ever happened in there. And then you go out into the streets and you feel this presence and you infuse it with love, so that every person you see, you know that inside them, within them, around them is this divine presence also appearing and whispering to them also. And that the place you sit in with them, you share, like the two bowls, they sing together and they infuse into each other. And that is happening. But I would not go and tell people that. Don't walk up to a stranger and saying, you and I are infusing. That's not a good thing to do. People don't like that too much. They might. You'll
Yeah,
know it. You'll know it.
this is very beautiful what you just said. It's like renunciation. What I'm getting is renunciation is really not like just saying nothing's here, or even throwing all the books, or throwing whatever. Like it's seeing the world with new eyes and being 100% present in every situation, knowing that everything is love appearing no matter what happens. So what's there to be afraid of, right? So it's like going back to religion. Like I last month, or last month, I went to I went back to having holy mass, and it's different holy
Yeah.
mass the way I attended it when I'm still in a different perception or lens. Right now I see it as it's just different, because I don't see it as preaching of the priest where he's giving the sermons. I see it as the presence of this unconditional love speaking through somebody. And then there's no more judgment in some way. Like, it's really not about throwing the books or throwing the identification. It's throwing maybe the judgment or the identity that was enslaved. Maybe I you just said it perfectly earlier. Like, just being there with new eyes.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting experience too, because you go to church um at a younger age, and there's a me. There's just this empty, there's not an empty, there's just a separate me. And you're truthfully just going, okay, when's this gonna end? When's he gonna stop talking? And you hear the pipe organs, and you're like, all right, good song. Let's get the song over with because I want to go fishing. I mean, let's be truthful. That's where most people are. But I'm here because it makes this person feel good. If I don't go, then they yell at me, and that's not worth it. And then you have this happen. You have this something takes place, and now you go back, and whether it's church or standing in line for ice cream,
Yes.
you experience it as, I don't mind being in line. Look at this amazing show taking place. This is beautiful. And you hear the pipe organ, and now instead of going, I want this song to end, you're listening to it going, where does that sound go? It goes through me. And I'm singing a vibration, just like the pipe organ. Ooh, it's coming out. We see these things, and we wait in line for ice cream. We're doing the same thing. We're just like, look at these colors. This guy's shirt is green. I don't have to think green. The color green is just coming to me automatically. So the key point is, you see this presence and beauty. You stop for a moment. Let me take a second. And you go, there it is. And there is nothing there. You go, there's just nothing here. Don't stay there. No. Come down. Come out. And face. There will be pain. You're not going to sit there and go, oh, there's just everything is presence and there's nothing here. Don't ignore your pain. You're still going to have pain. I'm sorry. Because you can say, oh, there's nothingness here. And then I, come up to you and go, hey, dude, you know what? I hate the way you do that. And anytime we take and we point to time and energy of impatience or something, it really narrows into somebody. The way you did that, didn't like that way that was done, and suddenly a defense comes up. That is pain. That is real. Don't discount that. Now the thing is to realize that all of that, even the pain of things, the pain of life, the uncomfortable moments that are appearing, where we're not just a nothingness, but we have to whoosh, come up like a wave. When that happens, that too is all of it. It's all inclusive. All of it is inclusive. It's like a Frank Zappa record. You have all these different songs on there. You ever buy a Frank Zappa record? They're hard to find, but if you can find one, you have one song. Go, that's a good. Oh wait, that song sucks now. No wait, now it's getting good again, and it keeps changing, and it changes. What is it that's constant through the entire record? The sound of vinyl. The sound of vinyl, which is at the beginning and at the end, and all through it is this clearness going through, and everything else is dancing upon it. And it's all likes and dislikes, and all the likes and dislikes are the presence as well. So with that, infuse love into it and express it out into what is there. Go out, and if you have to stand in line somewhere for ice cream and you're not the first, take your time with it, enjoy it, and go, you know what? I can stop and sit in love for a few minutes and just feel all of these people around me and all their different ways, maybe wearing a mask, not wearing a mask, wearing ugly shirts, whatever. They're all there doing their thing. And I love the diversity of it all, because the diversity points back, and you can say, look, here it is. It's appearing as this, as this, as this, as this. And there's aliveness to it. There's a complete aliveness. Um, that is what it's about. To me, that's what it's about. Is to just. So this is why I will explore things that I never explored before. So I used to teach Reiki classes, and I would do angelic healings, and I did all this new, they call it new age back then, new age stuff. I was doing all of that stuff. And then non-duality sort of opened up, and now I'm returning to it going, that helps. That's a nice infusion into it. It's rather nice. When I first experienced the non-dual state, I looked and said, why am I teaching Reiki? That makes no sense. It's just, to me, Reiki was just like shooting water pistols underwater. It's like, what are you doing? I'm presence, your presence. There's nothing needs to be done. However, though, the piece that was missing was love. Here's an experience of love. I don't care if they heal or not at this point. Even now, I don't. Put your hand here, put my hand here, touch, feel. What is appearing? Love. Love. Okay. Is that taking the pain away? Or your mind is busy anymore? No, no. Here it is. So, or perhaps, instead of talking to death, I just go here. You want to know who you are? This is who you are. Listen. That is who you are. So whatever tools we need, use them. Use them. Express with them. And go out. And if you are experiencing pain, don't try to, if you're seeing pain, experiencing pain, don't try to paint it over with non-duality. Don't say, I'm going to paint this over. It's all non-dual. Who cares about the pain? No, bullshit. There's pain there. Go into it. Find your tools. Take the non-duality and go, okay, I'm open to anything. What is happening? Okay, well, I think I have a spirit guide. There's something talking to me. Let me see. Let's explore this. So that's what I've been doing. Let's explore this. And now where does this go? This goes into this. This goes into this. Let's goes into this. If you need to use a medicinal medicine or something, ayahuasca you used, mushrooms, things like that, go into it and look at it and go, okay, what is this? What is this offering? Oh, the edges that I knew are out further. Okay, that's interesting. And then when that's over, you come back to them and go, yeah, those edges were out further, and that's who I am. So all those different things, I would encourage you. You want to taste all of life, and you want to live, and you want to revisit the things that were causing you pain, and look at them from this place of, I have no idea what is here, but I want to allow this to work itself out. Allow the pain to be there and let it happen.
Hmm. Yeah, you mentioned a very, very important point there, I think. Like not using anything, not just non duality, or like to cover what's really happening. Like you cannot use non-duality when you're in pain, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. You have to like feel it 100%, or use the tools at your disposal. Like you said, if Reiki, if you have friends with Reiki, with or you have people around you, or you can do it yourself, right? It's like not, I think from what I was getting is you're using it because you need it, not because I really don't know how to put it into words. Like you're not like using it to complete you. You know that you're complete yourself, but since like let's say right now you're in pain, maybe you can use this tool or explore what can this do for me, and then just from the point of view of exploring new, exploring something new, not the dependency on it. You know, you're dependent on it too much where you feel like it's it. Like you
Well,
cannot depend on non-duality. Like you cannot just say this and this and this, or I don't know how to put it into words.
well, a lot of, I've seen a lot of individuals crawl into non-duality as their safe space. They're like, it's safe here. Everything is just this, and and I'm safe here. And they've almost given up what they were doing before. Um, it's about painting and saying, let's put some flavor in this. Who wants to drink tea with a tea bag that has nothing in it? I'm putting an empty tea bag into water, and this is safe. No, put some flavor in there. Explore, where does that flavor go? And if that flavor even is cinnamon or pepper or something you don't like, explore, where does it go? Don't stay in that safe spot. Is there, that's your shield. Now go. Now go. So there I am at the Grotto de Lourdes. Okay, it's raining. I'm sitting in front of this beautiful statue of Saint Francis of Assisi. There's a plaque in front of him, and it has the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi on there, which at this moment I can't remember. Um, Something like, "Lord, make me a instrument of your peace." I think it goes on like that. Which, interesting, Saint Francis of Assisi never wrote the thing. They just took the poem, attached him, and put it out there. Went, look what he did. We won't go there, but anyway, I sat there in the rain and I read that poem line by line by line. I read every line, and then I went over and I sat on this bench after reading each line and dealt with the emotion that was coming up from each line of that poem. So it said, "Lord, make me an instrument of your peace." Let's just take that one. And I went over in the rain. It's raining, and there I am in this garden, and the statue's there. It looks like the statue's weeping. It's beautiful. And I sat there and thought, an instrument of your peace. That means I'm clearing myself out. And as I clear myself out, there is pain that's there. There's an image of my ex-wife, and I hurt her. She hurt me. How do I deal with that? And I sat there now going, okay, now I have this presence, which is a shield of peace and love. So I will cast love towards her in that image of her, which is very real, and let go and forgive and forgive. That took me 30 minutes. Then I went back to the next line of the poem, "Make me an instrument of your peace." And the next one was something like, "Where there is hate, I cast love." And I went back to this, and that's the next one. I sat there and thought, where is there any hate? Let me sense my entire system. Is there any hate in anything, any person, anything? Am I feeling hate? I'm going, yeah, there is. As I sit in this stillness, there it is. And I went through and I weaved love into all of that. And then I went back to the thing, okay? Each one of the lines actually was brighter. I kid you not. The lettering was brighter on each one. Then the next one I went to, they were all dimmer. And I went, okay, I got to go back to the next line. And I went to the next line and I sat there. This took me 2.5 hours. When I was done, there was this wonderful feeling of just cleansing, peace, whatever it was. The non-duality was there as a beautiful tool. And there it was, cleansed. And I went into all those painful pieces and worked with those. A month later, more stuff. Like, I'm good forever. Yeah, right. Try another one, dude. Because then you have another something that comes up. But we then have a partner in our lives. We have a relationship with presence. You have a relationship with us, and you work, and it's a constant. You don't come off the path. It's constant. You just started. You got this presence. Okay, welcome. Don't stay there. Don't come out of the room. And now let's start. Let's look at the healing, because it's beautiful. And you can look at it and go, well, all that pain is part of it and it's all okay. Well, that's no fun. You can get rid of it. There's ways of moving past it. And you'll have your days where you are moved past it, and you'll have your other days where things come back up. But it's those moments where you can stop. And here's something I can stop in. Yeah.
Yeah, I really, right now, I feel like I can read that prayer of Saint Francis with different eyes from the way you say it. It's like it's always,
Try it.
yeah, it's like I
It's
always, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and try it. It's it's a beautiful poem, and it offers it really offers and brings in some sharpness, which will bring up memories, and you can go, you know what, that's kind of been there. That's still that thing that's been there. And damn thing comes up once in a while, so let's look at it. And we look and we go, yeah, okay, I can fix this. And then we can infuse presence with love. Importance is bring in the love, bring that up and into the body, and look at it and have fun with it, and clear it out, clear it out. Um, so some of those old things like that, those old poems and stuff and prayers, they have their merits if you are seeing them again. And then as you come into the world, you bring this non-duality into the world. It's time to infuse this into the world. It's already there, but just let's bring the vibration of it into more aliveness, and that's your way of expressing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I really appreciate you saying all of these things. It brings me a different flavor to it, and maybe what whoever is watching it, it's gonna bring a different flavor also. Like before we like end it, like do you? I know you do. You still do weekly Zoom meetings, or do you like do one on one? Like you
I
talk
will.
like
Yeah.
this, and how
If
can they?
somebody if somebody wants one-on-one, just um, to help them with their search, I would love to do that. And actually, what I would do is I would probably do some music in the beginning, and then some pointers, some talks on how to things to look at, and then we end with music again, maybe some poems, and I think listening to stories is important also. Like, what are the challenges they're going through? So I'll do one on one. I also do out in some of the centers down here. I do group talks, and yes, yeah. So um, they can find me. I guess if you give my email address
Yeah.
on this, so I'll give it to you now, and then you can post it at the bottom,
Yes.
or
Yes.
you want to just post it.
Yeah, we can put it in the description box where you can.
Okay, yeah, put it in the description box, and they can contact me, and we can do one-on-one through Zoom, or if they're in the area, personal, doesn't matter, or telephone. Um, so why don't I end with a poem and a song? How would that sound?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, hold on. I've got to, let me grab my book real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, sure.
This is a poem I wrote about, let me see if I have it here. This is a poem about, um, one about love. I can't find it. My book got a little messed up here. All right, I'll do this poem about love, which I think is probably, that's why that's coming up. Okay, so this is a poem about love, and then I'll end with just some songs. So love is all there is love. Forms of love, love in form. There is no you, there is no me. There's only love, love pretending to be us. So I would take that poem, sit in it, and then open up your front door. And who are you now to step into this day? And what do you have to give to others out there? And then we'll do a quick song with these. Leonard, this has been great.
Yeah, thank you for your time and sharing all of this. It's really wonderful hearing and listening to your wisdom and in the music. Everything was perfect. Thank you, Mike.
Very good. You have a great day. I'll talk to you again. Okay.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Thank you.